Yep. Good to go.
Good afternoon, good people of the world. Okay, so we've got some nice questions to answer today. Well, some of them nice, some of them not so nice. Okay.
First one is Tracy Lonsdale, my sister. Thank you very much, Tracy. Hope you're doing well.
Tracy.
She put, if you had to, would you rather eat 5 live cockroaches or a cup of bed bugs? I kind of I reckon that deep fried they'd probably be quite nice, to be honest. Cockroaches, that is. I have had chocolate covered giant ants before, which I think you got me, Tracy, for my birthday once. Crunchy but strange, but quite nice at the same time. So I reckon deep fried, bit of salt and pepper, cockroaches for me.
I initially was going along the same route as Mark was there, but it doesn't say they're cooked. So, it actually is 5 live cockroaches. You're keeping your cockroaches, mate. Well, in that case, because cockroaches carry so many horrible diseases, salmonella, you name it, they carry it. I would have to go with a cup of bed bugs, which is pretty disgusting, but bed bugs are not a vector of any diseases. So basically, as horrible as bed bugs are, coming to have a feed off you on the night time of your blood.
Yeah, but it depends whose blood have they been feeding on. You might be eating a load of somebody's blood that's like riddled with disease.
HIV blood.
Exactly. You didn't think of that either, did you?
I'm still going to go with the bed bugs, Tracy. Bring them round. I'm getting hungry. The shelves are getting a bit empty anyway, so... Okay.
She's also said, would you rather drink a half... This is aimed at me, I think, more so. Would you rather drink a half pint of smoky whiskey or half a pint of tequila in 10 minutes? That's pretty grim, both of them. To be fair, I've been very sick on both of them, as she well knows. Well, the one time at her house, after a night of drinking this horrible smoky whiskey, I was really, really ill. And I was leaning in the kitchen and they kept wiping it on the surfaces everywhere I was leaning, and I didn't know. So I was like, I could still smell that bloody whiskey, it's horrible. And I just keep wiping it everywhere I stood. It was vile.
She's a good sister.
And tequila, I was sick in my bed in Spain after a night on the tequila and she had to carry me home. So if I had to, it'd be the smoky whiskey, I think, because I was a bit less ill on that one. Just about.
Old teachers or something like that.
It was Lafrogue or something.
Oh, Lafrogue, it's vile. My friend brought me a bottle of that once. And I had to get him round to come and drink some with me just to prove how horrible it was.
Yeah.
So I couldn't leave.
I mean, I do like whiskey, but that stuff, nah. And obviously you can't really drink either of them. So
I wouldn't drink either of them nowadays, but back in the day, I would have probably down both half pints and just carried on to the pub, to be honest with you. But that's why I don't drink anymore. Okay, what we got next?
So she also asks, what is your most secret guilty pleasure?
Oh, secret guilty pleasures.
Well, me personally, I'm a bit of a closet Kelly Clarkson fan, always have been. I've actually been to see her live by myself a couple of times, which is extremely sad.
On your own?
Yeah.
To a girls' concert?
Well, she appeals to a broad range of people.
If you're a family man, we're very worried about that. Well, me, I'm such an angel, as we all know. Really, the only naughty thing that I do nowadays, especially in the bedroom, is next to my bed, I've usually got a Terry's chocolate orange, and I have 2 sections a night as I'm going to sleep. So that's about as rebellious as I get, believe it or not.
I always take a glass of red wine to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite sad, really.
So that's Tracy's. Thank you very much. Stacey Simcox. Hello, Stacey.
Hi, Stace.
What's the dirtiest job you've done, Chris?
Yeah, it wasn't so long back, to be honest with you. Before we all got locked down, we were doing a pub, and basically rats were coming out above ground, but we tracked it back to they were coming out of their sewerage, and they had a cesspit, and all the cooking fat and everything from their very busy kitchens went into the sewers. So before we could actually do a survey, we had to get rid of literally all the crap out of the sewer pipes. At one point, I picked up a large lump of what I thought was what they call a fat berg, where all the liquid fat congeals in the cold. And when I picked it up, it was actually just a big lump of poo surrounded in fat, which then exploded in my hands. And look, I had my gloves on, obviously, but I was throwing up at the same time.
It was hilarious. It was
hilarious for you. Hilarious for you. Yeah, so that's my dirtiest job, I think.
Mine wasn't so much dirty, just as pretty grim. We did this flea job, or should I say I did this flea job in Wolverhampton a year or 2 ago. They said it was pretty bad. I didn't really see any when I was walking around spraying. And then I came out the house, Chris and the landlord looked down at me, they were like, oh my God. And literally my legs from there down were just riddled with fleas, jumping all over the place. Absolutely covered.
Everywhere, man.
Yeah, so, and I was just like, wow, I didn't even see one when I was walking around. So totally against health and safety, basically sprayed me down with some very strong insecticide all over my legs.
He won't get back in my new truck, let's put it like that, covered in fleas.
The rest of the day we were just like, what's that? It's a flea! No, it's been a good speck of flea.
Disgusting animals.
So yeah, there you go.
Okay, the next question for Stacey Simcox is, if you were to change jobs, what would your dream job be?
Mine is easy. It's a crisp taster for walkers. That'd be perfect for me, right up my alley.
You're crisp obsessed, man. I think I'd like to be an oil boy for the Hawaiian Tropics bikini team. That would suit me. I've got nice big hands, strong hands. I could lube up all day long there. Stop them from burning, obviously, because health and safety. It's the kind of guy I am.
Right, so we've got, have you ever had naughty dreams about each other? No, but even if I had, I wouldn't admit it on here.
And if I did, I'd have had a lobotomy straight away the next day. Maybe a self-inflicted lobotomy with a gun. Yeah, I'm not having dirty dreams about Mark ever. No. Kevin
Lonsdale says, would you rather have a live salmon swimming up your arse or a Duplo up your arse? And,
what's a Duplo?
Chris was unsure what Duplo was. It's a big Lego, big chunky Lego bricks about like that big.
Oh, right, okay.
Kids, like for young kids.
Well, it's obvious, isn't it, that one?
It's got to be the salmon, isn't it? It might be quite pleasurable.
Well,
flapping about.
Well, they kind of come pre-lubed, don't they? So I would definitely have a little salmon. Dirty little salmon. Yeah, I'm not stinking. No, salmon for me, mate. Bring me a salmon.
Bring me the salmon. John Sweeney, can you tell me? Oh, a pest question.
Woo! Thank you, John.
Can you tell me the best way to deal with pigeons nesting behind my solar panel system? I'll hand this over to Chris.
Yes. Yeah. Basically, you give us a call, or someone else who's really good at what they do. We use a system that's specifically designed for solar panel proofing. And basically, you've got to be very, very careful, because if you go up there and just start getting some wire mesh and screwing it to the side of your solar panels, what will happen is you'll puncture one of the solar panels, your guarantee with them, or warranty or whatever it's called, will be voided, and you'll have broken solar panels. So it needs to be done properly, professionally, and with a specific kit. And it's a really good kit. It just basically clips all the way around to whichever shape your solar panels are. And that's it, job done really. Big part of the job though is you have to remove all the nests first, which isn't the nicest of jobs, because pigeons are incredibly stubborn animals, and getting rid of all the baby birds isn't a nice job for us to do, to be honest with you. But it's one of those things we have to do, being pest controllers. Okay, I think that covers that.
I remember that first one. I think I've not been working with you too long, and we did one over Purton. Remember, it was the most terrifying thing. The house was so high, man, and I was up there. I was absolutely crapping my pants. And I really struggled getting back onto the ladder. I'm all right getting up the ladder and off the ladder onto the roof, but getting back onto it, I really struggled, man. I was absolutely terrified. Yeah. It was cold, it was wet, it was in January.
We're both terrified of heights, and half of our jobs are up on people's roofs and stuff. So, yeah, it makes for a fun day out. We have to just encourage each other along. But we always get there in the end, Mark. We always get there in the end.
So, John Lee says...
Hi, John.
Hello, John. Congratulations on your new Bambino. What's the most unusual job you've been called out to? Chris?
Oh, yeah. We get plenty of strange jobs, but one of the weirdest ones was late one Saturday afternoon. I've been out, really busy day, sorting out people's wasps and stuff. And I got a phone call off a police officer, and he was really panicked, and he was convinced there was a massive rat in the back of his kitchen. So I thought, oh well, I was going past the address on the way home, and I thought, right, I'll call him. And basically, I opened up one of the cupboards, and there were a couple of big, massive red eyes, like the size of 20p pieces, staring back at me when I shone my torch in this cupboard. And I've got to admit, I jumped back a little bit. But then, this police officer was absolutely crapping it. He was like hiding behind the door and kept locking me in there with this potentially killer rat, which was nice of him. But then I started to think to myself what he'd been saying, and he told me that his kids had put both of his chinchillas away. And I thought to myself, I know what this is. And I asked him what was stored in this cupboard, and lo and behold, the chinchilla food was in the back of this cupboard. Then I asked him to go and count the chinchillas, and what the kids had done is they'd put one away, hadn't been able to find the other one, presumed it was already in the cage, and it wasn't in the cage, and it had been living behind his cupboards for about 4 or 5 days. But yeah, that was quite a scary sight, that. One of the most memorable jobs, I feel.
I think the one was when we went to that house. It was like a hoarder type bloke. He had mice, and if you saw his house, you'd realise why he had mice.
Yeah.
But basically, he had like collections of tea bags and eggshells all dotted around the place, like literally piled next to his bed. There'd be like a pile of eggshells and a pile of used tea bags.
And there were definitely specific areas in each room. He kept his pile of tea bags and his pile of eggs.
It was so weird, wasn't it? And
Strange.
he had a framed picture of Shaking Stevens on the wall as well, I seem to remember.
That was probably the beginning point of all his problems, really.
What, Shaking Stevens?
Yeah, the day that you think, I know what this room needs. A nice framed picture of Shaking Stevens up there. Yeah, so that's those covered.
Chris Wood, hi Chris.
Hello, Chris.
When you get famous from your TV appearance in the summer, will you stay grounded as people?
Fingers crossed for that one. Fingers crossed.
I think I will. I'll make sure that everybody knows about it, just like you do, telling everyone you're a pilot. So,
is he a pilot?
He's a pilot. Didn't you know?
Is he a pilot?
He is.
I had no idea he was a pilot. Chris Wood.
Yeah, but hopefully, yes, I'm sure we will, won't we?
Oh, Chris, at the end of the day, you know I'm the most grounded person you've ever met. So I'm just going to stay exactly as grounded as I always have been. Won't go to my head at all.
Sam D'Angelo, is that how you pronounce your name?
Sam D'Angelo.
D'Angelo.
Very sexy name.
What's the best way to check your home for places where rats and mice could enter?
Okay.
Chris?
Well, with mice, a mouse can get through a hole as big as your little finger. Okay, so or as big as the end of this big pen. So they can be quite hard to stop getting in your house, really. Most obvious places, though, is your air bricks or air vents on the outside of the house. Quite often they're coming through those. We actually do like a specifically made wire mesh that goes around that we fit for people. Also, any gaps or holes around pipes, especially going into your kitchen, overflow pipes, things like that are down quite low. They can be a potential. But sometimes as well, the problem could be stemming from your neighbours, because to a mouse, it doesn't matter if you're in a terrace row of houses, to them that's not 5 houses in a row, that's one big house. So, you know, you can be up against it trying to find out where they're getting in and out. But we use our tracking dust, don't we, that glows in the UV and UV light, and that tells us a lot of the time where they've come from or where they're going to. With rats, unless you've got ivy or something like that climbing up the side of your house and going into your loft space, or other creepers obviously, nearly all the time now we find that it's traced back to a drainage or sewerage problem. That could be an old pipe that's cracked over time. It could be even sometimes we'll find that people used to have a toilet in a part of the building. The builders came along, put an extension on, covered over the top of this thing with some concrete, but the rats can still get out through that concrete, and years later we can trace it back to them. But then we need to come out and do a survey.
Yeah, shoddy building work gives us a lot of work, to be honest with you.
God bless them 1980s builders. Bish bash bosh loads of dosh days, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Remember that?
So, because basically what you can't see is obviously anything under the ground. So if they're going to cut a corner, they'll do it where you can't see it. So if there's broken pipes or shoddy pipe work done, rats will find their way out, and we get a job out of it. So
yeah, bless
carry
them,
on.
good old builders. And the last question is from Marcus McKay. This is an international question we're getting now. This is all the way from the Costa del Sol, I think it is, isn't it?
It's
Malaga?
the German in Spain.
The German in Spain.
Living with a Polish woman.
And he says, guys, I've seen some rats during the past day running past his house and things. He's put some bait down and to see what the response of the rats was. However, he's not seeing them now. Did his high-pitched squeal scare them off for good. I'm afraid it doesn't work like that, Marcus. Basically what's happened is you've instigated something that's caused them to go into a thing called neophobic shock. And basically it's a defence mechanism that they use. And it's a big word, but it means a fear of new things or new surroundings. So basically what happens is if there's something new happens, they'll tend to go off feeding and doing their normal daily routine. Over time though, as hunger gets to them and things like that, and their natural inquisitiveness gets to them, they will start to go and investigate things. As soon as one of the alpha males or females comes out and eats his bait, I think he was throwing down some bread or something, as soon as one of those does that, then the whole pack will start doing that. So I'm afraid they're there. I would love for us Pest Interceptors to come over for 3 weeks to sort out your rat problem, Marcus.
Not at the moment, though.
But at the moment we can't do it. But as soon as we're allowed to fly again, dude,
Yeah.
if we're not too busy here, we shall be over there, team-handed, and we'll come and sort your rats out for you, mate. Getting those 0% beers for me, and Mark will drink pretty much anything.
Other than smoky whiskey.
Smoky whiskey and tequila is a big no-no for him now. But that's all of our questions for today answered,
Sure
I believe.
is, sure is. Keep them coming. We'll keep doing it as long as we get questions, so you know what to do.
Yeah.
Them below.
Get them questions down below, and hopefully we'll see you all together with another load of answers and questions.
Or questions and answers.
Or questions and answers even. One or the other. That's quite a long one today, so hopefully you stuck with it all the way through and you found out some new information. And if you've got a salmon you want to send to us, well, we're kind of getting bored now. So
I'm not going anywhere near your arse though.
No. Separate salmons, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you soon. Bye.